from more violent action sequences to more natural execution. Here's why the action scenes in Tulsa King are way different from other Stallone movies. To start off, things are just slightly more brutal. In this TV series, Stallone plays a mobster, and as expected, there's a lot of action. You see much more creative and dynamic camera work and editing, which only adds to the intensity of the movements. Not only that, but the soundtrack is exceptionally picked and really adds to the tension in the scene, making it more engaging. I have to warn you though, the show has a lot more violence and death than your average crime series. However, it's balanced against the humor of the character. Dwight Manfredi, the character played by Sly, is brutal and ruthless, but he also has his gentler moments. One of the writers of the show, Winter, said that Sly reminds his viewers that Dwight is a gangster, first and foremost.
Yeah.
No, and not that, like, Michael B. Jordan's a nice guy. It's unheard of. Never happened before.
It's crazy. I would literally be in therapy every day for the rest of my life.
I can't make peace when someone has been so nefarious in my...
He may be nice and funny and extremely likable, but he's not afraid to get his hands dirty. I have to say, it's not usual to see such a well-rounded and complex mobster. In most movies, you just see them as inherently violent or obsessed with chasing money, but Sylvester plays a more natural character that viewers can relate to.
He looked like this. And I'm serious. And
this is unbelievable. You have Harrison Ford.
I had just finished Rocky and something like that, yes, and I was going up for...
And perhaps the reason why the acting is so natural is that the production is a TV series. Unlike other action movies, there's a lot of character development in this show, and that's why its action sequences stand out. They're not there just to wow the viewers. They actually further the plot of the series and show how the characters react to different situations. We see many larger-scale action scenes that feature more characters and set pieces. All in all, it makes for a more well-rounded production. Additionally, because Tulsa King is a TV show, it's naturally more slowly paced. Of course, that's not to say that the action sequences are slow, they're anything but. What you see instead is a lot of suspense. The creators really capitalize on the lengthy project duration to slowly build the tension as the scene progresses. That's perhaps what makes Tulsa King stand out from any other production Sly has worked on. And this also helps make the action scenes more realistic. Not to mention, the action was specially tailored to Sylvester. Stallone has been wanting to play a serious gangster ever since he was rejected as an extra on The Godfather. So when the chance to fulfill his dreams finally came along, he made sure he was involved in each step of the production.
Just want to do a dialogue check.
While he's a creature of older Hollywood, he's certainly learning new things.
You could speed ahead a little bit, please.
Sometimes rewriting entire scenes just the night before.
But I said, how am I going to learn filmmaking? Then I would take an old cheap tape recorder, record the dialogue.
Not only was he the lead of the series, but he was also the executive producer. He took the help of Terrence Winter, who rewrote the episodes keeping Stallone in mind. Speaking of his experience, Winter said that it was so much easier to write the script with Sylvester's voice and physicality in mind. He added that you'd be foolish not to bring Sly into the process since he's an Academy Award-nominated writer, director, and producer. Stallone confirmed that the scenes were made to reflect his personality, reflecting his strengths and weaknesses as an individual. Winter added that all the changes Sly made to the script were born out of what was the best fit for the character, rather than what made Sylvester look cool. It was really a collaborative effort that ensured the scenes were tailor-made to Sylvester's real personality. And there's no doubt Sylvester found the tailoring a comfortable fit. Of course, he had to do a lot to assure the creators he had the capacity to pitch story changes, from the Rocky series to his first Expendables film. There's no doubt he shines most when he's actually part of the production. But not all the credit goes to Sly. The other crew members put in the hours to ensure the action scenes were seamless, which of course only made them more natural. In an interview, Sly's stunt double, Freddie Poole, elaborated on the shooting. It's important to mention that Freddie was also the stunt coordinator, specifically mentioning the car chase in the third episode and the carnival brawl in the fourth. Poole revealed just how much planning it took. Not only did they hold meetings with the showrunner, the director, and Sly himself, but they collaborated effort with all the other departments. Freddie himself held individual meetings with each department, discussing minute details from the set decoration to the special effects. It was all about ensuring there were no hiccups when they began shooting. They made sure they had the resources for everything they planned, which meant there weren't any last-minute improvisations. All in all, it resulted in sequences that flowed well from start to finish, creating a seamlessly smooth scene. But Freddie didn't just shine in his role as the stunt coordinator. He also ensured he gave his all as Sly's stunt double. Perhaps another reason the action was so realistic was that you just couldn't tell the difference between Stallone and his double. A lot of the credit goes to Freddy, as he adapted his fighting scenes to Sly's age. I mean, Sylvester is nearing 80 years old. He may be fit, but it would be incredibly unrealistic if Freddy was doing stunts someone in their 30s or 40s would do. That's why Cool admitted he adapted all his mannerisms and movements to Sly's. He was so good at it that people came up to him saying he was walking exactly like Sylvester, and it must come naturally to Freddy. I mean, he's been working on projects with Stallone for decades. He really knows him inside out, and that reflects in how natural the action sequences translate to be. What also helped was the fact that Freddy wore a prosthetic mask, and not the kind that he wore in Samaritan, where he just wore it like a mask and looked out through the eye holes. In Tulsa King, Freddy spent 2.5 hours getting into makeup every time he was needed. The mask took another 45 minutes to take off at the end of the day, but it was all worth it because it meant that you could shoot Freddy from any angle and he'd look like Sly. That's different from other action scenes where you can just tell when a stunt double is being used because they only shoot them from behind or maybe do a 3/4. But the mask in Tulsa King allows shooting from all angles and even portrays facial expression.
I knew it and grew up in it. It's gone. Right. And now it's big, mega tentpole movies like Marvel.
So this is your first time on television, your TV debut?
Yeah. You know, you almost have no choice. My affections are the movie theater.
Right. Well, let me tell you something. TV's where it's at, just
That's
so
what
you know.
my point.
All in all the efforts the cast put in were to ensure the action was as realistic and natural as possible. And that really matters to Sylvester. He's been pretty vocal about his thoughts on today's action movies. He shared that he's a fan of the type of action that is grounded in cinematic reality, the type that can hook the viewer emotionally because it's that realistic. He added that he just can't relate to people who can hit the earth and it splits in half.
Series Tulsa King from the creators of the hit show Yellowstone, so you know they know what they're doing. The gloves are off, you could say. He plays a mafia boss exiled to Oklahoma to build a new criminal empire.
Sometimes the phone stopped ringing, and he wondered if it was all.
He explained that those types of scenes don't deserve to be called action, and they're mythology at best.
But I've conquered my dreams and aspirations. Now it's their time. That's it. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. And we're going to see you on reality TV. We cannot wait. What can we look forward to?
It's clear that he finds exaggerated special effects and CGI frustrating. That's why he loves realistic scenes that aren't over the top or supernatural. And Sly's preferences can clearly be seen in Tulsa King. The series involves a lot of hand-to-hand combat. The realistic stunts and choreography really make the action more intense and set it apart from any other Sylvester movie. In Sly's words, it's all about doing something that a unique human being could achieve. So when viewers are looking at the scene, they think it's something special instead of chalking it up to special effects. And that's how the action scenes in Tulsa King differ from other popular Stallone movies. See you in the next video.